Something extraordinary is happening beneath Canada's feet, quietly, swiftly, and far more powerfully than anyone expected. For decades, Canada's defense strategy depended entirely on American technology, factories, and approval. But now, almost overnight, a new possibility has emerged, one that could reshape Canada's economy, sovereignty, and aerospace future. It starts with a partnership no one saw coming: Bombardier and Saab negotiating to build Swedish Gripen fighter jets in Canada. This isn't a symbolic gesture or a side project. This is a full-scale manufacturing program that could resurrect a defense industry Canada abandoned over 60 years ago. These talks weren't whispers or leaks. Government ministers quietly traveled to Sweden. Industry insiders confirmed the details. The signs are clear. Canada is preparing for the biggest defense pivot in modern history. This isn't just about jets. It's about independence, breaking free from the shadow of the F-35 program, responding to tariffs and political pressure, and building a future at home. For months, Bombardier executives and Saab officials held meetings far from cameras and headlines, shaping what could transform Canada's aerospace identity. These weren't polite visits. They were real planning, real intent. Industry Minister Melanie Joly flew to Saab headquarters, followed by Ontario's Economic Development Minister. According to high-level sources, these negotiations are serious and accelerating, unfolding quietly while the world focused on trade wars, tariffs, and diplomatic tension. The deeper you dig, the clearer it becomes. Canada isn't just buying its next fighter jet. It might be preparing to build its future. And if this plan succeeds, it could mark the start of a new era of strategic independence and industrial revival. Something is shifting beneath Canada's feet, quietly, powerfully, and faster than anyone expected. For decades, the country relied on American technology, factories, and approval. But almost overnight, a new possibility has emerged, one that could reshape Canada's economy, sovereignty, and aerospace future. And it all begins with a partnership no one thought possible: Bombardier and Saab negotiating to build Swedish Gripen jets inside Canada. This isn't a symbolic project. It's a full-scale manufacturing program capable of resurrecting a defense industry Canada abandoned 60 years ago. These talks weren't rumors. Government ministers quietly traveled to Sweden, and insiders confirm serious, accelerating negotiations. This isn't just about fighter jets. It's about independence, breaking free from the shadow of the F-35, and responding to tariffs and political pressure by building a future at home. Real planning, real intent, quietly unfolding while the world focused elsewhere. The deeper you look, the clearer it becomes. Canada isn't just buying its next jet. It may be preparing to build its future, marking a historic pivot for its aerospace and national strategy. Canada originally signed for 88 F-35s at $19 billion, but independent audits revealed the cost could soar to nearly $28 billion, a jump impossible to ignore. Enter Saab's Gripen E. Nearly half the cost, cheaper to maintain, faster to repair, and built for harsh climates like the Arctic. It can operate from short runways, rearm in minutes, and part of the fleet could even be built in Canada. This isn't just a purchase, it's strategic independence. Canada could keep F-35s for NATO, but rely on Gripens for Arctic patrols, sovereignty enforcement, and high readiness missions, reducing dependence on a single country or aircraft. To grasp its significance, consider 1959. Canada canceled the Avro Aero, a cutting-edge jet and a national symbol of ambition. 50,000 Canadians lost work, prototypes were destroyed, engineers fled, and Canada's aerospace dreams died on the runway. A Gripen facility could change everything. Thousands of high-skilled jobs, revived supply chains, returning R&D and engineering, and a new generation trained for aerospace excellence. Not just outsourcing, a true industrial ecosystem. But the road isn't easy. Bombardier has a mixed history. The C-Series nearly bankrupted the company. The Learjet 85 collapsed, costing years of credibility. A Gripen program would be even more complex, demanding flawless execution. If successful, Canada could reclaim industrial pride, sovereignty, and aerospace leadership. A historic pivot 65 years in the making. Military jets aren't like commercial planes. The standards are higher, security tighter, and every component is scrutinized. One misstep could derail the entire program. For Bombardier to build Gripen E jets in Canada, it would need new secure factories, supply chains, training programs, financing streams, and defense approvals, all costing billions. The economic rewards are huge, but so are the risks. Here's the twist. The Gripen E uses a GE F414 engine, an American component. That means U.S. export controls apply. If Washington objects, Canada's production line could freeze overnight. With tariffs and political pressure already in play, this is a real vulnerability nobody can ignore. Yet Canada isn't backing down. Over recent months, subtle policy shifts, industry signals, and government actions suggest Ottawa is quietly preparing for a transformation. First, insiders report Bombardier and Saab are near a formal joint venture announcement for late 2025, early 2026. Second, Ottawa and the provinces are drafting loan guarantees, tax incentives, workforce programs, and aerospace grants. Ontario and Quebec are competing fiercely for the facility, knowing it promises decades of jobs, prestige, and economic impact. The third sign? Classrooms are preparing the next generation of aerospace engineers, signaling one thing. Canada isn't exploring possibilities anymore. It's quietly building its future. Aviation schools and technical colleges in Ontario and Quebec are launching new programs in aerospace manufacturing, composites, defense production, and avionics. This isn't random. Something big is coming. The Air Force is preparing too. Technical assessments show Gripens could integrate with Canadian bases, including Arctic facilities. Leadership isn't wasting resources unless those jets are expected to arrive. Canada isn't just exploring fighter jets, it's preparing for liftoff. What started as quiet conversations between Bombardier and Saab has become a national statement. For decades, Canada relied on foreign suppliers and factories to shape its air power. Tariffs, rising costs, and political pressure have made this dependence dangerous. A Canadian-built Gripen isn't just hardware, it's sovereignty, jobs, and technological revival. A domestic Gripen line could revive industrial pride, train a new generation, and ensure strategic independence. Financing, politics, and international pressure will test Canada's resolve, but one truth is clear. Canada is no longer asking what it's allowed to do, it's deciding what it wants to become.